I'm kind of curious, what did your Microsoft 365 environment kind of look like before you started using ShareGate's, let's say, more management features?
Well, to be quite honest, we had no idea. And the other thing is, no one really wanted to look because we knew it was going to be scary. So it was a bit overwhelming, and actually we did start looking, and I mean, we had no idea, no control, no visibility. I think that was the other thing. It was like, you'd log onto the admin center and it's just like, oh my goodness, get me out of here. So I think, to be honest, it was I don't want to say it was out of control, because it wasn't out of control, but no one knew actually what was happening. So from a security point of view, who had permission to which thing, teams that had been orphaned, with no owners, no idea, external shares, no idea what was being shared where, all that kind of stuff. I mean, I guess we didn't even know that we needed to know. When I logged onto ShareGate once, and we were kind of going through some migrations, and then I saw these other little things on the side that said manage, and they had these cool little pictures of people and icons, and it's just in a really user-friendly way. And I was just poking around, and I was like, I did a little filter on something, and it was like, I think it was orphan teams, and I clicked on that, and I was like, oh my goodness, there's 107 teams that don't have any owners. And I was like, wow. Oh my goodness, that's a thing, and like, oh, I need to deal with that. And then really easily on the dashboard, you can kind of see where they are, who they are, who to contact. And then even better, part of your process you developed over the last year is the automation. And I literally click one button and it sends all those people an email or a message in Teams, and I can sit back and watch it kind of evolve in front of me. So yeah, I don't think I actually knew that I needed to do that until I opened ShareGate and clicked on the manage button, basically, and then realized that I had a problem, or potential problem that wasn't going to get any smaller. I think that was the other thing, is it's one of those things, if maybe we were hoping if we ignored it, it would go away, but actually it wasn't going to go away. It was just going to get worse. So one of the other things that ShareGate have brought us is that the little bot that pops up afterwards and asks you kind of how long you want your team to exist, which has really helped us, because it's prompted people to realize this isn't a permanent data store. It's a temporary data store for your project. And just getting those kind of ducks in a row, really, because it kind of reminded people. But before that, I don't think people knew where to put data. And kind of how to use it in a constructive way. We had no control over whether what data was going in there, or whether people were cleaning up, past suppliers, or reviewing the external links, as you call it. So that little automation is fantastic for me, because we've had such a good response from that. Such positive things saying, thank you so much for making me look, because I've actually found people that shouldn't be on there, or cleaning up that thing. So it's gone down really well. Whereas, to be honest, the first time I turned it on, it sent it to all the external teams. So I was bombarded by things going, what, from the IT teams were like, what on earth is this? But so everybody got it by mistake, because I clicked the button and it kind of just happened. But since that prompted some communications, and everyone was like, this is the best thing ever, because we should definitely be looking at this. So
amazing.
So no negativity of kind of, why are you watching what I'm doing, or they were all very grateful that they'd been kind of prompted to do that.
Yeah. Makes sense because they own that content. So
yes. And we kept on saying to them, basically, that in the day prior to our Office 365, it was very much IT controlled the data in the company, and kind of users kind of use the data. And what we've had to learn now is that users are controlling the data, because they have to be trusted, or because they can put that anywhere they like in a team and share it with anyone they like. And so they are working out as a partner, really. We've got no control over that unless we educate them and prompt them and remind them, and give them the ability to easily do that work, I think. So that little prompt that pops up, and you quickly do that. Whereas if it was a task that took an hour, no one would do it. So that's another thing. It's really quick and easy for everyone to do it.
Before ShareGate, how much time did you invest or spend trying to correcting the environment?
Too much. I mean, it wasn't even a thing. We had weekly and monthly governance tasks that used to pop up in our email, and to be honest, it was always the kind of last thing on a Friday that you did because you just put it off the whole week, and and then kind of you never finished it, and then it was Monday again. Oh, it was just such a drag that actually you don't. And to be quite honest, and I'm not saying this, I love opening ShareGate because it cheers me up every time, because you feel like such a great sense of achievement. And especially when you've kind of tidied up a whole list and there's two little guys giving everyone a high five. It's just so well done that I kind of don't mind doing it. So sometimes it's the first thing I'd log on to on a Monday, just because I kind of feel like you can achieve something quite quickly.
Amazing.
And tidy that up. But before it was absolutely awful. I mean, we had tickets in each help desk across the world kind of thing, review these things, and people were just like, you'd have to prompt them and remind them, and it just went on forever. Sometimes you were still trying to catch up with last month's things before this month's were done. So no, I can't quantify the time, but it was too much, or else maybe it was never, in which case it was even worse, I guess. I hate PowerShell and it scares me, but I know when I click that little button there's like a little thing happening in the background and I'm doing PowerShell. That's my other kind of proud moment. But it just feels like you're vaguely in control, which is amazing. And in fact, I tell you, we had so I do like things being tidy, so I kind of use that manage button to look at how many teams we have, review how many owners, and then also if it's been inactive, I do prompt people if the bot has prompted them and it hasn't had a response, then I manually message them. And again, I haven't had any kind of why on earth are you watching me? It's like, oh great, thanks so much for reminding me, or yes, I'm sorry, yes, no, definitely get rid of that one, or I'll delete it now, or I'll move the files and we'll sort it out, kind of thing. But we had a call with Microsoft, who were basically trying to sell us some other things, and they announced that I had 120 orphan teams, and I went, I don't think I do. And they said, no, you definitely do. And so I said, well, give me the spreadsheet, basically. And they gave me a spreadsheet that was completely not correct from our environment. It was outrageous. So basically even Microsoft couldn't produce I promise you, I was so angry on that call, because I was like, I am so on this, there's no ways we have that. And the spreadsheet, and I could produce, from our stuff straight away. So I don't know where they were looking at data or what they were doing, but it was a kind of, first of all, it was an angry moment, and then a very proud moment that actually our environment wasn't. So yes, they didn't sell us whatever they were trying to sell us, but anyway. I literally log on and have a quick look at my dashboard, and it's quite easy to get a quick overview, change the filters to see what's happening, and then either send out a few messages in Teams. I also just noticed this week your communication sites thing pop up, which is also very exciting, because interestingly, one issue we do have is, so I have an IT team who are quite keen to help me use the permissioning, but I don't really want to give them permissions on SharePoint to see the permissions. So with ShareGate, they could then see which group people needed to be put into. So that's a great feature. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So they can go to the communication site and they can see which AD group I'm using, and then pop the person in there, that's a huge thing for us. I feel like it's completely under control. So when you say environment, I'm just putting SharePoint and Teams there. But OneDrive is, let's talk about that next week. But in terms of Teams, I feel fantastic, completely in control with that. It's amazing. I think we have maybe 6. I think I have 4 teams with no owners at the moment, and we're keeping. That's a kind of separate. We have to keep those teams alive anyway. But other than that, every team has 2 owners. Every team's been externally kind of checked in the last 6 weeks, I think it is. Or we don't have any inactive teams. It's just so easy. It's I feel like it's. And the nice thing is, if my manager asks for a report, it takes 2 seconds, and I can prove that what I'm telling is true. And like that Microsoft thing, I was completely, there's no ways. And so look, I logged on, I shared my screen. Here's my list. So it's so clear, and no one can argue with it. So no, in terms of that, I can sleep at night, basically. I also just want to say, like, if anyone's watching this, you haven't given me anything. I'm not being paid for this, because I really love this product, and I think it's fantastic, and I think it's really good value as well. For what we're paying, what we're getting out of it it's absolutely brilliant. So no, really, that's kind of why I agreed to do this, because I really think it's worth kind of saying well done, and good effort, and it really is fantastic, and it's easy to use, and anyone can use it. I'm not a programmer or a developer. You don't have to be. It's made for normal people, really. I like to think I'm normal, but yes.
Thank you so much, Astrid.